Hola, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos a mi podcast Tejiendo con gatos. Mi nombre es Consuelo, soy una tejedora de Santiago de Chile y ahora estoy en un lugar un poco distinto porque no estoy en mi casa, estoy en el Cajón del Maipo, en un lugar que se llama la Casa de las Ánimas. Disculpen el fondo, pero es el lugar donde mejor llega la luz, si no estoy a contraluz y no se ve nada. Es un lugar muy bonito que queda acá en el Cajón del Maipo hacia la precordillera desde Santiago. Y estoy aquí en unas pequeñas mini vacaciones. Y bueno, en estos videos, como ya no saben las personas que los ven, les cuento un poco qué he estado tejiendo, qué he terminado y qué estoy en proceso de tejer. Tengo varios proyectos terminados, los proyectos que estaba tejiendo, que les dije que tenía que terminar, terminé la mayoría, hay otros que no he terminado. Así que lo más importante, creo que lo primero que quiero mostrar es que terminé los movies. Y si me vieron en Expoteje, saben que los terminé porque me vieron usando los movies. Aquí estoy. Este es mi movie y este es el movie de Elze. Este es un patrón de Petit Knit que viene en muchas tallas. Petit Knit tiene, bueno, yo ya lo había tejido porque les había contado que lo había tejido en talla de niño, pero ahora lo tejí en talla adulto. Usé el patrón genérico, que es como el tallaje de mujer o unisex. Petit Knit tiene un tallaje de hombre que yo no he usado ese patrón, entonces no sé bien cuáles son las diferencias. Creo que es el largo de la sisa, y lo que les contaba en un video anterior era que como es un suéter de hombro caído, es muy fácil alargar la sisa porque básicamente tejes más filas. Si esto te queda apretado, te queda muy corto, tejes más puntos, o sea, más filas, antes de unir la parte delantera con la de atrás. Así que no es una modificación que sea difícil de hacer. Así que no creo. Mi impresión es que no es muy necesario un tallaje de hombre, pero no lo sé. A él se le quedó bien, es lo importante. Están tejidos con lana grosa, una lana de cal que es 100% merino, una marca alemana, creo. Y la compramos cuando estuvimos en Países Bajos de vacaciones. Así que lo compré el mismo hilado en dos colores distintos, porque a mí los morados no me quedan muy bien, o sea, los cafés no me quedan muy bien, pero me gustan mucho los azules, los verdes y los tonos más fríos. Así que este es el mío está tejido en talla M y este está tejido en talla XS, la más pequeña, y esta es la tercera talla. Les había contado un poco mi experiencia con el patrón, como ya este fue el segundo que tejí y este es el tercero que tejí, ya me conocía el patrón, ya me conocía los puntos. Estos de acá son trenzas, estos de acá no son trenzas, se hacen con aumentos y disminuciones, lo que hace que el tejido sea bastante elástico y por lo tanto no tiene esa tensión que tienen las trenzas. Yo recomiendo mucho este patrón. Ya lo conversábamos un poco en el video anterior, creo que lo conversábamos en el video anterior, que es que no sé, porque grabé un video que se borró, entonces no sé si lo comentaba ahí o lo comenté en el último podcast que sí subí. Así que lo voy a comentar de nuevo. Si ya lo había comentado, ustedes ignórenme. Que muchas veces he escuchado que los patrones de Petit Knit son difíciles porque les faltan instrucciones, porque son muy breves. Yo no creo, esa no es mi impresión, porque siento que los patrones de Petit Knit son como los patrones de libros o revistas, que son resumidos. O sea, por ejemplo, en la manga te dice como sigue tejiendo de acuerdo a la misma secuencia y disminuye cada 16 filas. Y usa la disminución que te corresponde si estás tejiendo, te toca tejer, porque este es un punto arroz, que tejes un derecho, un revés, un derecho, un revés. Entonces dice, usa la disminución que te corresponda dependiendo si estás tejiendo un derecho o un revés. A mí no me parece que esa instrucción sea insuficiente, pero sí es menos detallada de lo que estamos acostumbrados con los patrones digitales que pueden describir todas las filas porque tienen una cantidad infinita de espacio, digamos. Mientras que esto, como les decía, para mí es como patrones de libros o revistas que tienen que meter todo el patrón en 1 o 2 páginas. Entonces, evidentemente, las instrucciones son mucho más abreviadas. No sé si se escucha un helicóptero, pero no sé si se alcanza a escuchar. Hay un helicóptero pasando. Así que lo siento por eso. Eh, pero bueno, entonces son patrones como abreviados, donde, o por ejemplo te dice, disminuye 16 puntos en la siguiente fila. Hay herramientas online que te calculan cada cuántos puntos tiene que ser esa disminución, pero no es que, yo siento que no es que haya instrucciones que falten, sino que hay instrucciones que están abreviadas. Pero eso sí puede ser más difícil si tú estás acostumbrado a un patrón más detallado, en cuyo caso yo te recomiendo que le escribas a alguien que ha tejido el patrón, eh, pero creo que también es un buen ejercicio tejer un patrón de manera más autónoma o de aprender a hacer tus propias modificaciones, de aprender a cambiar cosas para que tengas un mejor calce. Esto mismo que les decía de pues, hacer la sisa más larga o más corta, dependiendo de tus propias dimensiones del cuerpo. Creo que eso es importante como habilidad para tener. Yo lo he tejido 3 veces ya. Así que si alguien tiene una duda del móvil, escríbanme nomás. Más que me encanta, quiero tejerme otro. ¿Para qué quiero tejerme otro? ¿Para qué quiero un segundo móvil para mí? No, necesito buscar una persona que no tenga uno y tejerles más. Porque es un patrón muy rico, tiene vueltas cortas, tiene este hombro europeo, que tiene muy bonito calce porque sigue como la curva del hombro, pero por detrás. Solamente por detrás. Entonces tiene una caída linda, como muy respetuosa como de la anatomía natural del hombro, y lo otro que es muy bueno es que no es un suéter que se vaya hacia adelante o hacia atrás, que a veces pasa con los suéteres, no sé si les pasa con los redondos, a mí me pasa, como se me van para adelante o se me van para atrás y hay que estarlos como ajustando. Este tipo de hombro no le pasa eso, se queda sentado muy bien donde va, así que muy recomendado este patrón, muy recomendado Petit Knit, tiene además este cuello doble que a mí me encanta. Tiene puñitos largos, es un suéter que queda bastante largo, a mí me queda bastante oversized, eso que no lo bloqueo agresivamente para estirarlo a lo ancho. El de Elze, como lo bloqueó más para que quedara más largo de lo que quedaba, le quedó un poco más angosto y le queda un poco más seguido. Pero a mí me gusta oversize, yo quiero un suéter así como anchito y es bien cómodo. Lo amo, me encanta, me lo he puesto ya 1.000.000 de veces, lo usé para la expo, lo he usado todos estos días, yo creo que lo voy a seguir usando mucho, porque además encuentro que el color me queda muy bonito, siento que es muy mi color, estoy muy en una época morada, así que eso. Recomiendo tejan el móvil, o yo he tejido varios suéteres de Petit Knit. He tejido le tejí a mi mamá un terrazo sleepover, no me acuerdo qué más tejió cuando tejí 3 móviles, entonces ya más o menos conozco el estilo. Así que eso, si tienen alguna duda con un patrón de Petit Knit, me pueden contactar, me pueden dejar un comentario acá, pero yo les recomiendo leer el patrón con calma, leerlos con pausa y tratar de entender cuál es la instrucción que les están pidiendo, porque insisto, para mí no es que falte información, sino que la información está muy abreviada, más abreviada de lo que estamos acostumbrados las personas que tejemos muchos patrones en digital, en esta era como digital de los patrones. El otro patrón, el otro tejido terminado que tengo, que como ven tiene algunas hebras no escondidas, pero yo escondí todas las hebras que se veían. Aquí tiene una, por ejemplo, no escondida. Pero yo escondí todas las que se veían y encuentro que eso es suficiente. Yo no escondo todas las hebras porque no tengo tiempo para eso. Y terminé de esconder hebras en la expo. Porque quería sacarme una foto con Sosunits usando el cardigan y no la encontré. No me pude sacar una foto con ella usando el cardigan. Fue terrible, me dio una pena tremenda. Pero bueno, ya, filo, es lo que es. Me encanta el cardigan. Este es el baseline cardigan de Sosunits. Es un cardigan que tiene la particularidad que se teje de un lado a otro. Entonces uno parte con el frente acá, después tejes en la parte de atrás, después tejes esta parte, si no me equivoco, y después tejes el otro, pero es un punto correteado que si se fijan va va así, no va de abajo hacia arriba. Eso tiene sus ventajas. La principal ventaja es que el punto correteado tiende a estirarse mucho, tiende a ceder así, en lo vertical. Pero no es tan elástico, o sea, tiende a estirarse en lo así vertical, pero no es tan elástico en horizontal. Entonces, cuando tú tejes un suéter en correteado, en punto correteado completo, es un suéter que va a ir creciendo, va a ir cediendo, va a ir cediendo, va a ir cediendo con el tiempo, y se va a ir estirando por el propio peso por la propia estructura del punto, el peso de la lana. Eso es así. Si ustedes tienen un tejido con correteado, van a notar que tiene menos estructura, pues son puros puntos derechos. Al tejerlo hacia el lado, eso se contrarresta, porque el tejido tiende a estirarse en esta dirección, o sea, hacia el lado, no hacia abajo. Entonces, tiene partes que los gatitos tiraron aquí, pero se ve bonito. Lo tejí en un morado, tiene en verdad muchas partes que están tironeadas de gato, porque a gato les encanta. Está tejido con curulanas, que es la lana del señor Sack, en el color sabiduría. Yo compré 4 billos, que son 1000 metros, y me sobró como un tercio del ovillo. No, ahí se muestra para tejerlo, así que yo creo que me quedó quizás un poquito más chiquitito de lo que era, porque creo que me quedó un poco más cortito del largo del patrón. Pero me queda como justo aquí, me queda como crop. Me lo voy a poner para que lo vean puesto. Pero me gusta así porque yo lo quería para usarlo con faldas y con vestidos, no tanto con pantalones. Entonces quería que fuera cortito, como un cardigan muy crop. No quería un cardigan muy largo, además que no sabía si me iba a alcanzar la lana. Yo creo que me hubiera alcanzado la lana para el largo siguiente, para el largo 3, para el largo C. Este patrón combina anchos y largos y tú tienes que elegir como la combinación del largo y del ancho que tú quieres. Entonces tú eliges tu talla de acuerdo a tu circunferencia de cuerpo, de pecho, la que tú quieras, eliges por la altura que más te conviene y después eliges el largo. Entonces yo tejí la talla 2B, que es la tercera talla de ancho y la segunda de largo. Entonces era bien crop, yo sabía que iba a quedar bien, bien cortito. Las mangas son larguísimas. Yo mientras las estaba tejiendo sentí que las mangas eran larguísimas y creo que crecieron un poquito con el bloqueo. No tanto, pero son como bien largas. De hecho, el puño está doble, está doblado. Me queda ahí. Entonces tiene este detalle de puntos deslizados que va por todo el brazo. Yo le hice puñitos contrastantes. Esto lleva bolsillos, pero yo creo que no le voy a hacer los bolsillos, la verdad. Lleva bolsillo acá, porque como es tan cortito, como es tan crop, encuentro que los bolsillos se van a ver raros, además que voy a usar un bolsillo aquí. No voy a andar así por la vida, como raro. Me gusta sin bolsillos. Pensé hacerle la pretina en contrastante, porque pensé que no me iba a alcanzar el hilado. Dije, tenía este hilado que es un merino de revés derecho, y lo usé para los puños, y pensé usarlo para las pretinas, por si me iba a faltar hilado, pero en realidad cuando tejí hasta tejí una mitad con una madeja, esta otra mitad, las mangas me salieron con casi una madeja, un poquito más de una madeja. Yo dije, bueno, no voy a usar una madeja entera para las pretinas, ¿no? Así que me va a alcanzar de sobra. Y me alcanzó súper bien, la pretina es bien ancha, ahí se nota, son hartos puntos, entonces queda gordita. Y esta talla lleva 3 botoncitos, tengo que volver a bloquearlo porque se tiende a hacer así. O ponerle aquí un brochecito o algo para que quede más planito. Yo creo que lo que voy a hacer, porque cuando me lo saque se los voy a mostrar, tiene un detalle en la esquina, para que queden redondeadas. Yo creo que lo que voy a hacer es que lo voy a bloquear a vapor, solamente esta parte, porque el resto está bien, me gusta el calce. Yo creo que lo voy a bloquear a vapor, así como aquí, y para que se siente como y quede planito. Entonces a mí me gusta cómo me queda, me gusta el ancho, porque no me queda apretado, me queda holgadito, pero es cortito. Como les decía, yo lo quería para usarlo con pantalones altos, con faldas o con vestidos. Encuentro que este largo queda súper lindo con vestidos porque te queda justo en la cintura. Y yo uso muchos vestidos con este corte que después se amplían después de la cintura. Entonces me encanta, es súper rico. Como les decía, la lana es de curulanas, merino de K, tiene 250 metros en 100 gramos y es muy rendidora porque es como esponjosita. Tiene además varias hebras creo que tiene 4. no más, como 4 o 6, no sé. Pero tengo aquí una hilacha, voy a dejar para ver la hilacha y decirles. Aquí tengo una. Veamos. Son 3. 3, 3 ply. Entonces, mientras más hebras tenga un hilado, mientras más cuando lo desenrollan así, mientras más hebras tenga, más definición va a tener en el punto. Entonces las singles, que son una sola hebra, tipo mechita, tienen menos definición de puntos, son como más peluditas también, y las que tienen muchos como hebritas enroscadas tienen muy, muy buena definición de puntos. Entonces, si ustedes quieren tejer trenzas, si ustedes quieren tejer algo que tenga muchos detalles, muchas texturas y le quieren sacar el jugo a esa textura, y que se note muchísimo, que sea muy evidente el punto, elijan, mi recomendación es elegir un hilado que tenga varias hebras, 3, 4, hay unas con 6, 8, que van a notar, por ejemplo, esta tiene, creo que 6 u 8, no estoy segura. Y si ven, los puntos se notan, pero así, a pesar de que es un poquito matizada, no matizada exactamente como con otro color, pero un matizado que se llama tonal, que es como distintos tonos del mismo color. Y ustedes ven así, a esta distancia, aún así se notan muchísimo los puntos, como que resaltan visualmente versus una lana un poco más peludita, como un mohair o una alpaca, que ese pelito va a distorsionar el punto. Entonces, esas son mis recomendaciones. Y obviamente un hilado, si tiene mucha textura de punto, un hilado no tan matizado de colores, porque esa mezcla de colores va a hacer que el punto se pierda. Esta es una que tiene tiene puro punto correteado y tiene solamente este detalle acá, que son puntos deslizados. El punto se teje cada 4 filas. Por eso queda así tan largo. Esto, incluso con una lana un poco más matizada, se va a notar igual, porque es una columna con un hilado que no tenga tanta definición, igual se va a notar, porque no es necesario que tengan esta preocupación. Yo lo elegí porque quería probar las lanas del sac, porque me encantó el color, porque lo vi y dije, es precioso. Es un morado, acá en esta luz se nota súper. Es un morado como una berenjena, pero como oscuro. No berenjena así como morado brillante, sino como las berenjenas más viejitas. No sé si les gustan las berenjenas, pero hay berenjenas cuando están más como oscuritas, como un morado que es casi como azul, como medio negruzco, es como este color. Se llama sabiduría el color. Muy rendidora, muy suavecita, muy rica de tejer, me sobró así un poquito y lo voy a usar de rastitos para otro proyecto que estoy tejiendo, que yo lo quería tejer esta semana, pero esta semana que ha estado Elze acá, estas semanas que he estado acá, he tejido nada, no he tejido nada, he tejido muy, muy poquito, en parte porque hemos estado haciendo muchas cosas. Entonces, yo seguí trabajando y ahora me tomé unos días de la oficina, pero seguí yendo a la oficina. Y normalmente mis momentos de tejer son después de la oficina, pero después de la oficina hemos salido a juntarnos con gente que lo quiere ver, entonces no hemos estado mucho en la casa. Los fines de semana también hemos estado saliendo, estamos teniendo muchas actividades. No tengo mucho tiempo para estar tejiendo. Y en la expo estaba muy así, porque, bueno, ahí les voy a contar mi experiencia en la expo, que hice mi primer taller de tejido, estoy muy contenta. Y lo otro y cuando estuvimos acá, yo dije, ya, voy a tejer en el Cajón del Maipo, voy a tejer muchísimo porque vinimos a relajarnos, pero también tuvimos muchas actividades acá. Llegamos el domingo como a las 2:30, una cosa así, nos vinimos en micro. Uno se puede venir a una micro rural que te deja en la puerta, lo tomas en el metro de las Mercedes y te deja en la puerta del santuario, se demora 1 hora. Y sale 1.500 por persona. Excelente, excelente servicio. Y ese día estábamos cansados, estuvimos recorriendo este domo. Al principio del video les dejé unas imágenes y les voy a ir dejando entre las distintas secciones imágenes del lugar, que es maravilloso, es increíble. Y tuvimos muchas actividades, salimos a caminar, salimos a pasear ese primer día. Después ayer lunes fuimos a una caminata, nos tiramos en tirolesa, No me acuerdo qué más hicimos, fuimos a una granja con animalitos, entonces hicimos muchas cosas, entonces tampoco he tenido, ayer tejí bastante, tejí como un par de horas, pero he tenido poco rato para tejer, entonces he tenido mucha actividad. Así que todos los proyectos que yo quería terminar están un poco lentos. Y ahí estoy avanzando con calma, pero terminé el cardigan que quería terminar, terminé los suéteres que quería terminar. Así que igual voy a avanzar. Así que eso. Ah, y los botoncitos son de Casa de Opio. Me los voy a sacar porque dije que les iba a mostrar el detalle de las esquinas de la pretina y los botones. Así que, los botones primero, porque los botones son de Casa de Opio. Estos son unos botones que me gané, creo que en una Expo Teje, hace mucho tiempo. Me gané un set de botones, creo que venían 6 o 7, no sé. Venían muchos y ahora usé solo 3. Elegí los más doraditos. Él se los puso. Yo no los cosí porque me carga coser. Son así, son doraditos. Y encuentro que queda precioso el contraste sobre el morado. Queda muy bonito. Y que siempre el trabajo de la Fran es increíble. Es increíble las cosas que hace. Yo tengo un anillo de ella, tengo un broche. Me quiero comprar más cosas. Siempre digo, ay, podría comprarme unos botones sólidos para ponerle los cardigans. Y no. Siempre quiero ponerle botones de ella porque son tan únicos, son tan bonitos, que encuentro que hace un efecto que no en ninguna otra parte vas a encontrar. Así que botones de Casa de Opio. Y esto es lo que les decía de las esquinas. En lugar de tejer así derecho la pretina, tiene unos aumentos acá, justo en la esquina, tanto acá como después de la botonera. Y eso le da como un redondeadito. Entonces le da como un borde a la pretina. Y la pretina está separada adelante y atrás. Tú puedes hacerla de atrás más larga. Yo hice primero la pretina de atrás. Y nuevamente yo pensaba que quizás no me iba a alcanzar la lana, así que la hice, sugiere 2 largos, cosa que te quede del mismo largo adelante y atrás, ahí se ve que son del mismo largo, o que sea más larga atrás. Pero encuentro que se ve bonito así como un cardigan cortito, moradito, calza mucho con toda mi ropa, le viene bien al verde, le viene bien a todos los colores que yo uso, los azules, los morados, los verdes, los grises. Yo uso muchos de estos colores fríos. Así que esos son los proyectos terminados que tengo, no tantos como me hubiera gustado tener, porque me traje un proyecto acá para terminarlo y no lo he tomado, no he hecho nada, no he hecho ni un punto. Así que bueno, primer proyecto, les voy a mostrar este primero, porque este ya se los había mostrado antes, creo, es el Best, es el de la Fair Best de Melanie Roundtree, que es un Best sin mangas, o sea, un chalequito sin mangas, se teje de abajo hacia arriba y se teje todo en circular. Ya llevo bastante, creo que cuando se los mostré llevaba el elástico y quizás un poquito más, o llevaba solo la muestra, que como se borró ese video, no sé. Ya le llevo esto, no todo esto. He avanzado, cuando me vine, iba como aquí, cuando partió el fin de semana. Y ahora voy acá, así que este sí ha avanzado, es en yaca con trencitas, así es por dentro, me encanta, encuentro que es súper lindo por detrás. Tiene un punto elástico con los 2 colores acá. Son muchos puntos porque se teje en una muestra de 30 puntos en 10 centímetros, así que son como 200 y tantos puntos. Y esta es la segunda talla. Y es que son miles así de puntos. Y eso, es 100% colorwork y tiene este motivo de rombitos a colores hasta el cuello. Es entero con ese motivo y tiene la particularidad que se teje con stick. Entonces tú tejes todo un tubo, tejes un tubo hasta el cuello. Te lo pones y es como una camisa de fuerza. Y después tú le cortas, haces aquí una técnica especial que donde tejes algunos puntos mezclados, como que preparas el lugar donde vas a hacer el corte. Y después en la parte de esta parte de acá, ¿cierto? Como en el espacio del brazo, donde va el brazo, en la manga, tú lo cortas, lo tejes en circular para no tejer jacquard en revés y lo tijereteas, tomas los puntos y esto tiene solamente un elástico porque obviamente es un vest sin mangas. Ahí yo he visto hartos suéteres de manga caída que usan la misma técnica para evitar tejer jacquard en plano, así. Yo sé hacer stick, lo he hecho en muestras. Nunca lo he hecho en un suéter así completo, final. Así que estoy un poco nerviosa, sí, pero o sea, se refuerza con crochet y va a quedar bien. Como que, y tiene un cuello en V y en la parte del cuello en V las disminuciones también son con stick. O sea, en ninguna parte de esto se teje jacquard en plano. Se teje totalmente en circular, 100% en circular. Es súper lindo, es súper fácil de tejer porque, como ven, los floats son chiquititos. Creo que la parte que tiene más puntos son 6, pero a 30 puntos en 10 centímetros, 6 puntos son 2, no, 30 dividido 5 son 6, no, son como 2 centímetros de float. Entonces no da para atrapar la hebra. Entonces se teje sin atrapar hebra, es bastante rápido. El diagrama es muy fácil de memorizar porque va siguiendo el movimiento de estas líneas. Yo estoy tejiendo con una merino fingering no superwash de Tejedora Chile. No superwash porque cuando vas a hacer, a mí para el color work, a mí en general me gustan las lanas no superwash, me gustan las lanas corridas, me gustan estas lanas más rústicas. No me gusta mucho el superwash, salvo para hacer calcetines, porque yo los calcetines los meto a la lavadora, a la secadora, así como una ropa normal, los trato pésimo. Pero me gusta el no superwash para el color work, y lo recomiendo, o lanas más peluditas para hacer color work, porque esto, como tienen estos pelitos, estas hebras todavía como sueltitas, en lugar de este recubrimiento como plástico que hace el superwash, estas hebras como que se entrelazan. Entonces el color work queda más bonito, queda mucho más como parejito, y para hacer stick, la lana al ser más como que se pega entre ella y menos resbalosa, hay que reforzarlo menos, porque tiene menos posibilidad de que se desarme cuando cortas. Así que si van a tejer con stick, la recomendación siempre es usar una lana no superwash o una lana que tenga como más pelitos, por ejemplo una alpaca, una corridale, un cashmere, distintos tipos de hilados que funcionen mejor con el stick. Pero a mí me encanta el no superwash. Yo cada día quiero más tejer no superwash. Cada día como que toco el superwash y digo, a mí no me gusta. Y de a poco me estoy... Aunque estas otras son todas superwash, los suéteres que les mostré. Pero para el color work yo encuentro que tiene que ser no superwash, que no es tan fácil encontrar acá en Chile, la verdad. La mayoría trae superwash. Así que eso, este es el color Lux, creo, y este es el color Rice. Yo le pedí a la Yanis que me los teñiera, son parte de su carta de colores fijos. Este vest es para Elze, no es para mí, en el tamaño que tiene, me quedaría así. Pero él se eligió los colores, yo lo eligió online, así que menos mal que las fotos de la Yanis son muy fijas, la Yanis de Tejedora de Chile. Sus fotos son muy fieles a lo que es el color, porque tuvimos que hacer todo esto online y elegirlo online y que se midiera y que yo eligiera la talla. Sí, la preocupación que tengo es que estoy media justa con este. O sea, tengo casi el metraje que sugiere el patrón. El patrón dice son 760 metros y yo tengo 800 metros. Pero él se lo quiere más largo. Así que yo creo que voy a tejer con este ovillo completo, voy a medir, voy a pesar, voy a medir, voy a tratar de calcular cuánto voy a necesitar y ahí voy a saber ya al tiro terminando un ovillo, pero ahora me queda como la mitad de este ovillo. Y esta parte del elástico gastaba más puntos, esta no gasta tanto, entonces voy a ver eso, voy a ver cuánto me cunde un ovillo, voy a saber al tiro si necesito más y como la Yanis, como les decía, esta es parte de su carta de colores y es muy parejita para teñir, le voy a pedir uno más. Si no, por último alterno madejas de este color, ya ahí vemos, porque yo creo que si me va a faltar tan poquito que capaz que sea para los elásticos del cuello, una cosa así. Si es que me falta, pero yo creo que no me va a faltar. Pero voy a estar como justa, porque voy a tener que hacerlo un poco más largo. Y este es un testeo que yo había pensado que era para noviembre, y no, es para el 1 de octubre. Lo que quiere decir que he estado ahora, que terminé todo lo que quería tejer para Expo Tejer, he estado turbo dándole fijo a esto, porque él no se lo ha probado. Mi idea es que se pruebe para ver, obviamente no es largo, pero para ver si le gusta el ancho. Y bueno, una vez puesto, podemos calcular el ancho, el largo hasta la separación de manga. Y cuánto sugiere el patrón y cuánto le gustaría que fuera más largo, porque le gustan las cosas más largas y es de torso largo igual. Entonces, quiero que se lo pruebe. Tengo que ponerlo en palillos como de guardar, entonces eso me tiene así como, como les decía, no hemos tenido tiempo para nada. He tenido muy poco tiempo para estar en la casa. Estoy tejiendo con 3,5 y eso. O sea, estoy maravillada con el resultado. Mucha gente me lo alabó en la expo, también porque la parte de atrás, a mí me encanta el color work. Eso. Y el último proyecto en proceso que tengo, está saliendo más largo de lo que yo pensaste. El capítulo de podcast va a ser bien. Es que estoy tejiendo unos guantecitos de bebé porque la hija de mi amiga, la Eli, me pidió guantecitos para ella. Me mandó un audio que decía si yo hacía guantecitos para el Little Girls. Y yo le dije, yo le tejo a esta niña lo que quiera, lo que me pida. Llevo un guante. Quería tejer el otro este fin de semana. Obviamente no lo tejí. Aquí tengo el hilado. Este es un ovillo que yo le tejí un móvil con esta lana. Se me perdió un ovillo. No me encontraba en la casa. Me compré otro. Lo encontré cuando volví de vacaciones, por supuesto. Y que estoy haciéndole el guante en el mismo. Nunca había hecho guantes con dedos. Es difícil seleccionar, o sea, tomar los puntos de los dedos. Pueden ver que este dedo lo hice al final y este lo hice al principio. La verdad es que no están tan feos, pero este obviamente está mejor. Se teje de abajo hacia arriba, tiene aquí la manguita bien larga, entonces se puede usar doblado, lo que es bueno porque también le va a durar más tiempo al estar más largo. Usé un patrón gratuito de Yarn Inspirations. Les voy a dejar el link abajo. Vienen muchísimas tallas y es gratuito. Esta es la talla que dice 6 a 8 años, creo. 6 a 12 años, una cosa así. Encuentro que está bien de porte. Esta es mi mano. Y mi idea es hacerle unos bordecitos como de flores o de cintitas por acá para que no sea tan fome. Tengo que tejer el otro. Este me demoré como 4 horas, 5 horas en tejerlo, así que la verdad está súper rápido. Lo quiero tejer antes de que Elze se vaya, porque la idea es que él se lo mande desde allá por correo, que se demora menos y es más barato que mandarlo de acá. Y mi plan original era hacerle un gorrito con unas trenzas en intarsia, que hice la muestra, les voy a dejar acá las fotos de la muestra, y no he alcanzado, o sea, no he montado nada, y yo creo que no lo voy a alcanzar aquí. Así que voy a tener que mandar en Navidad, desde allá, después de Navidad, desde allá, el gorrito y la bufanda, que esa otra muestra que está acá, es unas trenzas en brioche. Mi idea es hacerle una bufanda. Es la lana que me quedó de mi móvil y un hilado que me quedó del mar suéter que tejí de la Rina, que lo testé con una merino no superwash de tejeritas. Originalmente usé ese hilado solo para hacer la muestra, me encantó la combinación y dije, voy a comprarme un hilado en los mismos colores porque me gustó. Y después pesé los ovillos que tenía y dije, en realidad me alcanza con los ovillos que tengo, porque tengo casi 100 gramos. El brioche estira y es una bufanda para una niña de 4 años, como 5, de 5 años, o sea, como que tan larga tiene que ser. Así que voy a usar ese mismo hilado usando restitos, y eso está muy bien. Y yo creo que sí o sí voy a terminar los guantes. Yo creo que los voy a empezar hoy día, en la tarde, y cuando llegue a mi casa. Y después de eso voy a ver si los termino entre hoy día y mañana, bloquearlos, hacerle el bordadito y listo. No voy a alcanzar a hacer el gorro, pero bueno, he tejido muy poco. Yo debería haber sido más realista y haber entendido que no iba a tejer mucho esta semana, porque tenemos muchas actividades, pero bueno, una así, no lo sabe. Así que esos son todos mis tejidos. Y ahora les quiero hablar un poco de la Expo Teje. Esta Expo Teje fue muy especial para mí, por muchas razones. Lo compartí un poco en Instagram, para las personas que me siguen en Instagram. Si no me siguen, síganme. Por varias razones. La primera fue porque fue mi primera expo haciendo un taller. Yo les había contado en otros videos que iba a hacer un taller de texturas y trenzas en double knitting. Salió increíble, tenía 10 cupos, se llenaron los 10 cupos, me encantó. Tuvimos las lanas de Tejeritas nos dio las lanas, tuvimos unos marcadores de Casa de Opio y unos marcadores de Caro Tejiborda. Y también yo les llevé unas ovejitas impresas en 3D que él se me imprimió, unos chocolatitos y tuvimos ahí cosas ahí para intercambiar, así que estuvimos muy regaladas y fue muy bonita la experiencia. La gente se fue contenta, les gustó el taller, todas pudieron hacer sus muestras, que me encantó después ver cómo sus muestras iban tomando forma, cómo iban aprendiendo los puntos. El double knitting, bueno, ya lo he mostrado, es una técnica que te permite tejer un tejido como con 2 capas. Tejes 2 capas de tejido al mismo tiempo, por lo tanto tienes 2 lados derechos, o tienes un lado derecho y un lado revés, y eso te permite jugar con un tejido reversible, y normalmente se usa para el color work. Yo les había mostrado antes una bufanda que tejí en double knitting, pero ahora, y después yo empecé a jugar con texturas, empecé a ponerles trenza, hice distintas muestras, y les voy a dejar una foto de todas las muestras que tenía, y el gorrito que está en testeo. De pronto va a estar disponible el patrón con videos y todo. Así que estaba muy, muy entusiasmada de poder enseñar este taller, que mis amigas me animaron, y ahora quiero hacer más talleres. Quiero repetirlo, quiero seguirlo haciendo, quiero buscar otras técnicas. Ahora estoy experimentando con calados en double knitting, como una capa con calados y la otra no. Cosa de poder ir como generando un tejido que es reversible, pero que una textura por un lado y una completamente distinta por el otro. O sea, efectivamente son 2 gorros completamente distintos en uno. Me encanta esa idea. Y eso, pues estoy probando cosas, estoy experimentando, y que por ese lado fue una experiencia preciosa. Muchas gracias a todo el equipo de Expoteje, que fueron un 7, especialmente gracias a la Mili, que es la que coordina los talleres. Y fue una experiencia muy linda. Tuvimos el viernes un desayuno con todos los talleristas, pude conocer otra gente, gente de Argentina. Ahí estaba la Suso y nos sacamos una foto, pero no tenía el cardigan todavía terminado. Entonces, nada, pues tuvimos muchas instancias ahí de compartir, de conversar, de aprender una persona de la otra. Estuvimos en el SOS Tejeril, que es una iniciativa que tiene la Expoteje, donde tú estás en una mesa y la gente puede ir con sus dudas. Yo me inscribí a la primera hora del sábado, la gente no tenía muchas dudas todavía, pero sí pudimos compartir de tejido, sí le pude dar un par de datos, un par de consejos. La gente me vio tejiendo el color work y les mostré cómo tejer color work con las 2 manos, que es como lo tejo yo. O sea, con el color principal en continental en la mano izquierda y el color de fondo en inglés en la mano derecha, que creo que es la mejor forma para controlar la tensión, para mí, por lo menos. Y es muy cómoda. Entonces, eso, igual es un momento para compartir con otra gente, para conversar. Me encontré con mucha gente en la Expoteje, pude abrazar a mucha gente. Siempre digo que lo más lindo de la Expoteje es la parte de la comunidad. Así que por ese lado fue muy especial. Fue también especial porque fue la primera Expoteje de Elze, así que pudo conocer un poco más del mundo tejeril chileno, de los tintoreros, de la gente. Fue muy, muy bonito eso. Y también porque ya lo conté en Instagram, mucha gente lo sabe ya, o sea, toda la gente lo sabe en realidad. Y porque es mi última Expoteje por un tiempo, porque a fin de año me voy a vivir fuera de Chile, me voy a vivir a La Haya, en Países Bajos, con Elze. Nos vamos, o sea, Elze no vive en Chile. Yo me voy a de Chile con todos mis gatos, con todas mis cosas, con todas mis lanas. No sé si con todas mis lanas, pero, pero eso, me voy. Entonces va a ser, era una Expoteje muy especial que yo quería vivir con la gente. Tengo que evaluar porque ahora vi que los invitados para la próxima Expoteje son la Sadie Norton y Westmeads. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué después que yo me voy? Me parece una crueldad tremenda hacia mí, hacia mi persona específicamente. Así que bueno, ahí va a haber qué hacer. Igual ellos van harto a festivales allá en Europa, entonces también es esa posibilidad. Pero yo creo que la primera Expoteje que ocurra y que yo no esté, me va a dar una pena infinita, porque cuando me perdí la Expoteje el año pasado, porque estaba hospitalizada, estaba mal, ¿cierto? No estaba, no pude ir, tenía entradas para el meet and greet, tenía todo, y me hospitalizaron 4 días antes de la Expo TG, y estuve 3 semanas hospitalizada, o sea, evidentemente no pude ir. Me dio una pena tremenda ver las fotos de la gente, era como, "Ay, quiero estar ahí, quiero estar con la gente". Así que yo creo que mi primera Expo TG que no esté en Chile, voy a llorar, me va a dar una pena. Mándenme todos los videos, fotos que existan, y nos vamos a seguir contactando obviamente por internet, por estos videos, por el Instagram, pero no es lo mismo esa instancia de comunidad, de encuentro, que es lo lindo de Expotege, más que tanto los invitados en realidad, pero a mí me gusta mucho Sarin Upload y me gusta mucho Westmix, así que estoy así como... Así que eso, fue una Expotege muy especial, muy distinta en un sentido, con experiencias nuevas, con cosas que no había hecho y abriendo también un poco una nueva como etapa de mi vida de hippie. Así que eso es lo que les quería contar de mi tejido. El podcast no se acaba acá porque como ven quedan muchos minutos y esos minutos quedan porque, como les contaba antes, Elze está de visita. Entonces grabamos una entrevista para que le conozcan, para que vean qué está tejiendo, sus impresiones de Chile, sus expresiones de la Expo Teje, que se las voy a dejar acá. Está en inglés porque él no habla español, pero va a estar con subtítulos. Así que, y creo que en YouTube pueden poner como traducción con IA, que es como una cosa muy extraña, me da mucho miedo, me da mucha cosa cuando abro un video y está traducido, pero no los voy a juzgar si hacen eso. No voy a juzgar a nadie. Porque yo sé que mucha gente teje esto como sin mirar, por escuchar el audio, pero eso. Así que ahora este video está muy largo, muy contrario a lo que normalmente tengo yo en el podcast, porque duran como esta duración, pero es porque se dio una entrevista, así que se las dejo acá. Espero que se queden, espero que la vean, espero que les guste y nos vemos en otra oportunidad. Besitos. Hello, Elze.
Hi.
This is actually the take number 2 because the first time the audio didn't register,
Unfortunately.
which was extremely annoying. So, Elze, welcome to Chile.
Thank
You have been
you.
in Chile exactly 10 days, I feel.
A little less, I think. It's Monday.
9,
I arrived on
Saturday.
Saturday, like end of the afternoon. Yeah.
So 9 days.
hmm
So Elsa has been in Chile for 9 days. How excited were you about coming to Chile?
Very excited. Although I will admit that usually when I go on a vacation, I like plan everything out and I have the itinerary and I do a lot of research. And this time I haven't done that as much because my main plan was just, oh, I'm going to see my partner. And a lot of the things that I want to do are just like experience the culture how a local would experience it, not necessarily what I would research as a tourist.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we've been meeting a lot of your friends and family and hanging out with them, and that was really for me the focus of our visit. But I was very excited for that.
Yes. How have you liked Chile so far?
I really like it. Yes.
Did it meet your expectations?
I think so. In a way, like some of the things that you warned me about were not as bad as I expected because I'm from a small town. I live in what I would call now a big city for Dutch standards, but tiny compared to Santiago, and I'm not really a city person. So I was worried it would be super overwhelming for me, but like we've been dosing it out really well and like it's been fine. And there are so many really pretty things as well.
What has been your favorite thing about Chile so far?
Um, Besides you. But no, I think my favorite thing we've done is definitely coming where we're now. We're in Las Cascadas de las
Animas?
Animas. And it's this like really pretty river with the mountains and the waterfalls and like lots of beautiful plants. So I really, really love it here. It's so pretty.
Yeah, I'm glad. What are you excited to do next? Because we still
Uh,
have a couple more things to do.
yes. We are going to go to the beach,
We are.
which I'm looking forward to. That will be very nice. I live next to the beach now, but for most of my life I haven't, so the beach still feels special. I'm also going on a tour a little bit higher in the mountains, which I think is going to be really fun. And also just like spending more time because I think we'll also spend some more time with your family.
Yes, we're
Who,
going
who-
to the beach with my family.
yeah, who I've now mostly all met, but I don't think I've met everyone.
Hmm.
So yeah, good things to come.
What about the Chilean food?
I've tried a lot of
Let me
different
put the mic
things.
closer.
Yes. So when you were in the Netherlands in February, you cooked me a lot of things that were like Chilean meals, but vegetarian because I'm a vegetarian. Um, we made what was the thing with the pumpkin that we made?
We made charquitan.
Yes, but
We
what?
made porotos con
Yeah,
mazamorra. We made sopaipillas.
yes.
I don't know what else you're thinking about.
Now I'm trying to think about what we ate here. Because we had it
Mm.
with like proper Chilean pumpkin instead of like what we can get in the Netherlands, and I did really like the Chilean pumpkin. I've also really
We
liked,
had carbonara,
yeah,
the soup.
yes, the soup. I've also really liked lots of the sweets. I have a bit of a sweet tooth, so I like superochos. I had pancake naranja, which I really, really enjoyed. Margaritas for breakfast because I'm Dutch and we eat a lot of bread.
Yes.
So yeah, good food.
Is Are Chilean sweets better than Dutch sweets?
Don't make me choose. We have good sweets too. You asked me to bring you sweets.
Yes, that is correct. What is your favorite Chilean sweet?
Oh, I really, I think I'm gonna have to say either Super Ochos or the Chiquitas, Negritas.
Mm-hmm.
Those, those are good.
Yes, there are very, very, very good. I'm glad
Yes,
that you are enjoying Chile. Do you want to come back?
yes. Well, I am coming back, but also I want to come back.
You're coming back in December for Christmas,
Yes,
for summer Christmas, for the first time in your life.
yes, which is gonna be very weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been told that it has like all the wintry decor, which I think will make it even weirder.
Yes, it
But
is the same aesthetic as European winter Christmas, but in summer with 35 Celsius.
yes, it's gonna be an experience.
Definitely will. And then we're moving back to the Netherlands.
Yes, then we're moving to the Netherlands, and I definitely also want to come back just to see more of the different parts of Chile and more of the nature
Hmm.
when we have time to take a bigger vacation.
Yeah. Because what we've done so far, so people know, we've been to Quinta Normal in Santiago. We mostly stay in Santiago because we don't have that many days. So we stay in Santiago, we've done Plaza de Armas, La Moneda, San Cristóbal, the Zoológico Metropolitano, just wandering around the city as well. And now we're in Cajón del Maipo, and we're going to Valparaíso. And then we're also going to stay here more days, and you're going on a tour of Embalse El Yeso. So if you have any ideas of things that Elsa should do next that can fit into a 3 to 4 days schedule, because that's what we have in December, let us know. We have some plans, we have some ideas, but we still need to see if they can materialize.
Yes, I would like to see La Serena and like the. I've already been amazed at the starry skies here,
Mm-hmm.
so I can't imagine what like a proper astronomical tour would be
Yeah.
like.
So if somebody's from Coquimbo, La Serena, because every time I say La Serena, people from Coquimbo correct me and say, I don't live in La Serena, I live in Coquimbo, which is right next to there. Let us know if you would like to have us there. We would love to be there. I love La Serena and Coquimbo and the fourth region. So we will see. We will see
Yeah.
what we do in December. Okay, so now let's talk about crafting.
Yes.
What type of crafts do you do?
I have done a lot of knitting because we actually met through knitting. I was doing a lot of that around like 2020.
Let's tell people how we met.
Yes.
So, do you want me to tell it?
Yeah, you can tell it.
So, in the pandemic, I started knitting more. Actually, the year before the pandemic, I started knitting more. And then during the pandemic, when there was nothing to do, I was knitting a lot. And I joined a Discord server. A Discord, some people know in Chile know what a Discord is, but it's like an online forum that you can use to chat to people. And I joined this Discord called Stitchcord, it was an international knitting community, and it still exists. I'm not there anymore, but it still exists. It had a lot of people from the United States and Canada, but also lots of European knitters, a few Dutch knitters from the
Yes.
Netherlands, and it had you.
Yeah.
We became really good friends.
Yeah, so we started talking there a little bit, but I feel like mostly in a group.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point, people like exchanged Instagram handles and we followed each other. And then a couple years later, around like 2024, I feel like late 2023 as well,
Yes.
we started like talking to each other a lot more over on Instagram and like we did a lot of showing each other pictures of our country and talking about that, but also just finding an excuse like, oh, if I photograph this windmill, I can send it to Konzu and then I'll be talking to Konzu.
Because
So,
he loved.
yes. So, yeah, that's how we met
Yeah.
through
So
knitting.
through knitting, when did you learn how to knit?
I learned how to knit during first grade in primary school because I went to a Waldorf school and you learn how to knit there. You also learn like crochet, finger braiding, cross stitch, some basics of sewing, but not really on a sewing machine in primary school. That came in secondary. So I learned how to knit. I also knit continental, or we call it Norwegian style, so holding the yarn in my left hand. Whereas in most people in the Netherlands learn how to knit like English style with the yarn in your right hand. But that's because I had a Norwegian knitting teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to knit like this case for our recorder.
Hmm.
And I had to knit a very, very big one. So it took forever because you knit so slow when you are like 6, 7, 8 years old. So yeah, I learned how to knit there. Then I knit at school, but I didn't really knit that much at home. My grandma also knit a lot. So I would wear like hand knit sweaters as a kid, going to grandma, looking at all of her pattern magazines.
Yeah, for me too. My grandma used to knit a lot. My mom
Yeah,
doesn't knit much, but my grandmother used to knit a lot.
yeah. Like that's how you got sweaters. You like
Yeah.
picked it out from a magazine and then you went to the yarn shop and I would wear them to pieces because I loved them so much. Um, and I didn't knit a lot. I feel like when I was 13 or 14, I also had a little phase where I was like, oh, maybe I'll try knitting again. But I did that stupid thing where you buy very terrible acrylic novelty yarn because you think it looks cool. And it's actually horrible to knit with.
Because it's scratchy.
Yeah, it's like scratchy and has like, I think it was something ladder construction. So you also put your needle through the wrong part of the yarn really easily. It was very annoying. So I don't think I even finished that project. Definitely didn't start a new one. And then when I was around 20, I picked it up more and also started to like look up patterns, learn how to make garments, try different knitting techniques. So usually when people ask like, oh, how long have you been knitting? I will kind of like count from when I was around 20,
Mm.
even though I've known how to do it for longer.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Do you like knitting?
Yes, I like knitting.
What do you like the most about knitting? Not what
Uh,
do you like to knit the most, but what do you like about the craft?
about the craft. I really like that it's something that keeps your hands busy.
Mm-hmm.
So I always have like a sock on the go because I can just pick it up, take it with me, and it's something I can do while talking to people. It's like I say like, oh, it's stimming, and in the end you have garments.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah. I also knit a lot during like lectures in uni. So maybe that's why I don't knit as much because now I'm teaching and you can't really knit while teaching.
Yeah. What other crafts you do?
I also sew. Actually, I don't knit as much as I used to. I would say now my main craft is sewing
Hmm.
because I really like to make my own clothing. I have in the last like year and a half picked up quilting, which is really fun. Um, yeah, and I do a little bit of embroidery, but mostly as part of bigger projects. Oh, and I know how to do bobbin lace.
Oh,
So I also do a little bit of bobbin lace
which I would like to learn.
and spinning.
And spinning. I also really like spinning. You have spun me yarn.
Yes,
I have a skein of yarn that is hand spun by you. That I still need to figure out what to do with. I have ideas, but I need to use it.
yes.
And you have more fiber
I have more fiber, yes.
that you can
Right
spin for me.
before, yes, right before Brexit, I was like, oh, I really like buying yarn from, I think it was World of Wool in the UK,
Hmm.
because they had it cheaper and also because they listed the origins of all their fibers a lot better than what I could get in the Netherlands. And they had like really interesting sheep breeds. So I got a bunch of wool right before Brexit. You all know how long ago that is. I have been slowly working my way through it, but I still have some left in stash.
What is your favorite thing to sew?
Oh, it's gonna have to be clothing.
What is the item of clothing that you've sewn that you're most proud of right now?
I think the clothing that I'm most proud of is like my suit jackets because I that was
The one
mostly
with the flowers?
self-taught, the one with the flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun. Get a lot of compliments when I wear that because it's a lot more exciting than a lot of standard menswear. And I learned how to do that basically watching YouTube, reading books, and it has all the hand done interfacing layers. So I really am proud of that one.
What are your upcoming sewing projects?
I want to finish if I have the like a big chunk of time. I want to finish a black suit jacket.
Mhm.
Well, I have to start the jacket. I have finished the trousers for that suit, and I have the fabric. I also look forward to taking in your skirts,
Yeah,
making you more things. Like it's
yeah,
gonna be fun to make you things.
yeah. I have a lot of skirts that are too big for me now. That since I've lost a significant amount of weight, and so now I have to. I don't want to part with that. I parted with like a lot of my clothes, most of my closet, but those skirts that are made by a local business in Chile and they're made by hand. I don't want to part with. So you're fixing them and taking them multiple sizes in
Yes.
because now they literally follow me. I fall off me. I cannot wear them. I cannot wear them. They will not stay up. That's how that's how big they are. But I'm really looking forward to that as well. And what else did I wanted to ask you? Oh, I wanted to ask you about your sewing as art.
Yeah. So I kind of accidentally stumbled into, I would say, making more textile art because I used to have some pride flags outside of my window. And what happened is that they would get stolen a lot.
For clarification, for people who don't know, because people don't know Elsa's former living arrangement, former living arrangement. This was 2 apartments ago. Elsa's apartment was on the first floor, on the ground floor, and it was right up on the street. So you could
Yes.
walk it to you give 4 steps from the sidewalk. So this was very exposed. This is
Yeah,
important context.
yeah. They would also get stolen from balconies higher up, but very rarely. But because mine were so easy to grab, it happened like, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 times. And by that point, I knew that there was someone specifically targeting my flags because I would put up a new one and it would be gone the same night. And that was really starting to take a toll on my mental health. So unfortunately, I had to stop putting up
Yeah.
pride
And
flags.
then you decided to repurpose the flags that you could recover.
Yeah, because most of the time they would be gone, but there were a few that I could recover, or also one time a flatmate came like home late at night, and he found a group of teenagers trying to burn my pride flag at the bus stop, and he confronted them and he got the pieces back for me, which I was really grateful for because that meant that I could put those pieces back together, but I mended them in a very visible way. and try to really tell a story with them, partially to show people that this does happen, and this does happen in multiple places in the Netherlands, and I know it happens worldwide, where pride flags get vandalized, and for some reason, a lot of cis straight people are very shocked when I show them. Queer people usually aren't because we know.
Mhm.
So I'm using it to raise awareness, but also as a way to show like resilience and to show people that hey, if this happens to you or if something else happens to you, like there are ways to kind of grow around that.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't go away, but it also doesn't have to be this big wound for the rest of your
Yeah.
life. Of
And you've had your flags in art exhibits so far, and it's in a book.
yeah, it's in a book. It's been like on the website for the Dutch Institute for Intangible Heritage because they were doing something about queer textiles. I've been on the national news with it. I've been on a boat in the Amsterdam Canal Pride with it.
Mm.
So yeah, I try to like tell the story, show them to people, raise awareness, and I'm really proud of that project.
Yeah. And through this flag, this organization came to know you, and they did a commission for a quilt.
Yes. So I made the prize for, they have like a thesis prize where every year, if you do a thesis in the Netherlands that is related to intangible heritage, so that would mean, for example, like crafts, lots of different things. And for the winner, they commission an art piece from a Dutch craft person that they have worked with that year. So they had worked with me and they contacted me and they were like, hey, this is the winning thesis. Don't tell anyone. Can you make a quilt as a prize that kind of fits the theme of that thesis? And I had a lot of fun with that. It was a very fun project. I also really enjoyed kind of the creative challenge of trying to make something that looks really spectacular because it needs to be a prize, but also fit like a budget for materials and also fit a budget for my amount of time because I knew how much I was going to get paid.
Mhm.
That was a set price and was like kind of on my like hourly wage to be somewhat worth it. So I have to make this efficiently, and I think I'm very proud of the result of that.
It's very pretty. It's very pretty. We're gonna leave pictures for people to see. And so, about your knitting, back to knitting, because this is a knitting podcast and people do care more about knitting. What are you working on? So, you're working on one project that you don't have yet, which are the
Yes,
socks for me.
I am knitting you socks, but I didn't bring them.
What is special about these socks?
Well, I made like a little ruffly cast on. Most of them are just vanilla socks, but with a nice, I think the yarn is like a bamboo merino blend, and
Yeah,
they're a bit like dusty pink. But I wanted to have something fun of them. So they have this like really roughly cast on. I was like, that's the part that's gonna stick out of your shoes. I will
they're
spend a bit of
very,
extra time on them, and then the rest will be what I can just knit without looking at it.
yeah, I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
And the other thing that you're working on, I'll grab your microphone
Yes, I can show
so you
you.
can
So I
show it.
am working on this. This is called Fox Paws,
It's a
and
shawl,
it's a shawl.
a rectangular shawl, a stola, we would call it in Spanish.
Yes, and this looks really cool. This is made with a technique that's called stacked stitches. So that means that you do a lot of increases kind of like on top of each other, and it creates these like very, very shaped rows.
About
So
15 stitches, 15 increases into one stitch sometimes.
yes, and that means that you can knit this with only one color per row. So it's not color work, and you still get this like super interesting pattern. It's been a really fun knit. It's a challenging knit, and you really need to knit it on like circulars, even though it's knit flat, because the amount of increases will put a lot of tension on your needles.
Hmm.
Um, but it's really fun. I'm really enjoying it.
And it's a slow knit. It takes you about half an hour for the longest.
Yeah, the longest rows I think take me at least half an hour, might be closer to 45 minutes. But then there's also sections that are like just stockinette, and of course that goes a lot faster.
And what are you knitting it with?
I am knitting it with a yarn that is called Scheepjes, which is a Dutch yarn brand, Alpaca Rhythm. I believe it might be 100% baby alpaca, at least like mostly baby alpaca. And it's a lace weight. It's a really lightweight yarn. Like a skein is only 25 grams for I don't exactly know how many meters, but quite a lot.
Yeah.
And it creates this like really airy texture. This pattern is not written for a lace weight. I believe it's written for fingering or light fingering. And I had started knitting in sock yarn, but it wasn't very soft, and I ended up enjoying these colors more. So I
Some of these
restarted
colors
it.
were on your stash as well.
Yes, I had the two greens and the lightest blue were in my stash, and then I decided to buy two more colors to make it with that.
And the good thing is that these are very much your colors, which are greens, but it's also in cool colors that are my colors. So I
Yeah.
can steal it.
Yes.
Which is a great part of being a crafter because you do gravitate towards greens and browns.
Yeah, I wear a lot of greens, browns, like kind of warm nature
Earthy
colors,
colors.
earthy.
Yes.
Yes,
Which really
definitely.
work with your because you're a very warm toned person.
Yeah,
If you did your color work analysis, I
probably.
very more cool toned. So I like dark, cool colors like purples, blues, all of those colors. Not as much brown.
Yes.
Um, and so I think this is about your knitting. Oh, any knitting techniques that you particularly like,
Yeah.
that you have tried or
Mhm.
that you have not tried and want to get to know how to do?
I really like cables. I really like lace, but the problem with that is that I love knitting lace. I end up not really wearing it. So I've knit like a bunch of big lace shawls, which I wore a little bit before transition because I'm trans. But after transition, I was like, this is not really my style anymore. So that's a pity because that's very fun to knit. I do enjoy knitting it. I really like brioche. I'm not that into color work. I've tried a bit of stranded color work because I really like the end result, but I don't enjoy doing it as much.
It's a good thing because I do like it.
Yes.
I do like it. I made you a couple of projects.
Yeah,
And
you have made
stranded.
me a lot of things.
And yeah, that's so much for techniques. Any upcoming knitting or projects? Because we did talk about the upcoming sewing projects, but upcoming knitting projects that you have in mind.
I don't have like a this is definitely gonna be my next project, but I kind of want to knit a hat that is called the Ben Nevis hat, and it's a combination of some double knitting for the band, so it's extra warm. And then the top of the hat has like a combination of brioche and I believe also some double knitting, because that sounded like a very fun project.
Yeah, and you've never done double knitting, but
I've
I can
never done
teach
double
you
knitting, but I do happen to know someone who can teach me double knitting.
because I love double knitting and teaching it. So yeah, that's it. And more socks because you do enjoy knitting socks. They're very
Yeah,
practical.
socks are just always my kind of like comfort projects. Mostly simpler ones, so I can take them and knit while I chat. But I've also knit some more complex socks, and I kind of want to try that technique with the like strands over top.
Oh, Rosie.
So we had to change to your phone because my phone doesn't work anymore. Technical issues. So the video quality is different. We were talking about rosemary, which you want to try.
Yes.
It's a Estonian technique.
Yeah.
And I've never done it, but I know a lot of patterns. There's a designer who uses it a lot. There's some Chilean designers with designs in that.
Oh.
And we're gonna talk about the expo now, but I bought Pope Vergara's book, Shine, which is a book about knitting with beads and shiny yarn, and has a lot of fun techniques. I bought it in English for two reasons: because I knit in English, which may seem weird because I speak in Spanish, but I learned how to knit mostly through video tutorials and resources in English,
Mm-hmm.
and so you can use it too.
Yeah.
So, and that I think has some patterns with that technique as well, with a part of that technique. So maybe we can.
Yeah. And that's a good thing about like moving in with a fellow crafter is that we can combine stash, we can combine like knitting tools,
Book
books.
libraries.
I think there are some that we have double, but a lot of them that like only one of us had.
Yeah, we are consolidating our stash. Do you have a large stash of yarn? Because collect knitting and collecting yarn are two different hobbies.
Yes, I would say I have a medium stash.
You have seen my stash. Is
I've
it
seen your
bigger
stash.
or smaller than
No,
mine?
it's smaller than your stash.
Would you say I have a large stash?
Probably.
I
But
only have like
also-
6 boxes of yarn.
You knit a lot more than me because I used to knit a lot and now I don't knit that much. So I think like compared to how many meters of yarn you use in a year, like if you would calculate the proportion, I think your stash would be smaller than mine.
Yeah.
Just because I don't go through it that fast. But I don't have many large quantities of yarn. I think I have like one sweater quantity that I want to knit a sweater of.
Oh, I have like 6.
Yeah, but I have a lot of sock yarn because that's kind of my, if I see very pretty yarn, I'm like, I'm not gonna buy a lot of yarn, but you have always a use for a skein of sock yarn. I feel like everyone does that.
I have a lot of sock yarn that because I'm not taking all the yarn with me. So that's something that we were talking about me moving, consolidating. So seeing which books we have duplicate, which we haven't checked.
No, we can
We have
check
to
that.
do because I want to do a sale of things I have that I'm not taking with me. And this includes a bunch of things. I'm hijacking your interview to talk about this. I'm going to be selling yarn. I'm going to be selling some books that we have doubled. The books that we don't have doubled, I'm going to take all my books. But I don't want to part with any of the books I have. And the books that I want to get because I have a wish list of books, so many. And I'm not gonna bring all of my, like I said, yarn, books, and I'm also not gonna bring all my knit goods because I do have some sweaters that are too big for me now. Some I might unravel and knit again. Some I'm not, and some shawls I'm not gonna bring just because I also have to reduce the amount of things that shawls I can still use, but I've also found that I have a lot of one skein shawls that I like to use more than large shawls, which are very fun to knit. I love all my M cowls by West Knit. I will continue to do the West Knit M cowl every single year. I want to participate in one of the yarn alongs, which are these 3 shawls that he releases throughout the year because I love knitting big shawls.
Yeah, but that's more like a garment you wear. And when you are just going outside of the house and you're like, it's a bit cold, I want to grab something, you grab like the one skin shawls.
I wear my Aurora cami shawl so much.
Yeah.
I don't know where I stored it. So, but I have to find it. But I might not take a lot of my shawls, so I might part ways with them and make ways for more shawls. I need to figure that out. So stay tuned for Consu's big moving away sale of yarn and others. And I will probably do it in a big meetup at a cafe.
Yeah.
So speaking of meetups, you came here sort of especially. We secured your date considering 2 events
Yes.
that were time sensitive that only happened in certain dates. One of them was we didn't talk about that. One of them was the cicletada del primer martes because as a good Dutch, Elze is a cyclist, and as you know, if you follow me, I love cycling. So we really wanted to go to that bike ride, which we did.
Yeah,
Had
it
a
was
lot of
really
fun.
cool.
And they did do a shout out to you as a special visitor.
Yes.
So that was amazing. And the other event that happens in early August was, of course, Expo Teje, the biggest yarn festival in South America, and also Elze's first ever yarn festival.
Yes.
There are a lot of yarn festivals in Europe. There are some in the Netherlands. There are other bigs in Germany. I wouldn't expect you to have gone to the ones in Spain because you don't speak Spanish, which I have a big list of all the yarn festivals that happen in Europe, and I fully expect to go to them. I have already plans to go to Barcelona next year, not this year, because this year I'm still going to be in Chile. But 2027, Barcelona meets. So go, because we will meet each other. And I don't think I'm coming to Expo Tejiendo, which breaks my heart because they just announced the two guests for next year, which are Sari Northland and Stephen West, and I love them. So why? Why in the year I'm not here? Maybe I'll travel. Who knows? Maybe I'll do something insane. Stay tuned. No, but there's festivals in the UK. There are festivals in Europe, and there are festivals in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
Well, I think I have been to fabric fairs or festivals.
Not the same.
Not the same. I know. But I also don't knit that much, and especially when I started out, I wasn't knitting with a lot of hand dyed yarn.
Mm.
So I think that's also why I didn't go to a lot of the festivals.
You would say you buy more commercial yarn.
Yeah, I do think I buy more commercial yarn. I have some hand dyed. I have some that is undyed that I dye myself. But I was knitting on a student budget, and when you are a student, you do not use a lot of hand dyed yarn.
Which something that surprised me in Europe, would you say that that is correct? Is that there's a lot of commercial yarn that is natural fibers.
Yes.
For example, the yarn that I use for our movies is
this is
100%
commercial.
merino, but we did buy it on sale, but I would say, didn't we pay like 70 euros for both sweater quantities?
I think a little bit more.
Yeah, but it was
less than 100 for two sweaters.
For two sweaters, so 100 euros is 100,000 pesos for two sweaters. It was on sale, but I do think these skeins new are probably 1 to 5 euros.
I think new they are like 6 or 7.
Okay, but still
for 50
cheaper.
grams. But
It's still
cheaper.
much cheaper than hand dyed yarn. But it's 100% merino, which I feel in Chile, it's really hard to find commercial yarn, like at the very big stores like Revés Derecho, Orquídea, even Modista or Lana Land. There's usually Lana Land does have a lot of wool that is, a lot of yarn that is 100% wool. But I feel in general, you go to the big yarn stores, and outside of hand dyers, you see a lot of acrylic yarn. I love acrylic yarn. I do think it has a place, so I will not stand for acrylic hate.
No, but I do personally prefer using natural fibers.
I prefer using natural fibers because I sweat a lot.
Yes.
It's probably the same to you.
Yes.
And if I wear an acrylic sweater, I will sweat so much and it will be gross. But I do have some acrylic cardigans, so things that breathe, great. And for blankets, and for things like that, amazing, just acrylic all the way. But it is hard to find 100% wool or 100% natural fibers, except for cotton, in commercial yarns. And I feel like that's not the case in Europe, because we went to a yarn store in the Netherlands, and it was pretty much all commercial yarn, pretty much all natural fibers, or a big percentage of natural fibers in the skein, and they were very cheap and very affordable, which I was very surprised. It's like, imagine you walking into Revés Derecho and it's just wool. There was very little acrylic.
I think that like our hand dyed is a lot more expensive than it is here, or not a lot, but significantly. But our commercial yarn might just be a wider variety and it's pretty affordable. So that also means that there's not as much of a need to go hand dyed just because you want to use nice yarn.
Yeah.
And if you're on a budget, kind of makes commercial yarn, but natural fibers. I use a lot of merino. I use a lot of different types of wool. I really like blends that are part wool, part something else natural. I've knit in wool tencel that I really, really liked. I have my one sweater quantity in my stash is a wool linen blend that is undyed that I want to try dyeing myself. Because if you dye that with acid dyes, it will hold on the wool a lot stronger than on the linen. So I think that's going to have a really interesting effect.
Yeah.
And it will also mean it's a bit less hot because I do run hot.
So
that's like my yarn shopping experience in the Netherlands. And then I came to the Expo Teje, which is of course lots of hand dyed yarn, lots of alpaca, which I really, really love. yeah, it was really, really cool.
What were your expectations of Expotejo?
I think my expectations were pretty similar to what it ended up being.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had also like Concert sent me all the pictures, so I had seen a lot of pictures. I had heard a lot of the stories about Expedition. Um, yeah, it ended up being kind of like what I expected, but just I was just I think walking around with super wide eyes, taking it all in, really enjoying all the pretty things, all the very soft things. There were a lot of like alpaca yarns. We touched camel. We touched vicuña, which I don't want to know the price of, but my goodness, it felt wonderful. Yes,
Were you surprised by the size of the yarn festival?
it was big, but not like shockingly big. I think it was. I knew it would be big, and it was. There were a lot of different sellers.
So you think you were prepared for the
Yeah, I
size?
think I was prepared for it. I think also because I have been to fabric festivals, and they will usually because fabric physically takes up more space, so there were less sellers there, but it was around the same size because the fabric booth is bigger. So it felt like, yeah, this is what a big festival is like.
One of the big things that Expoteje is about community. And it's about having a place to encounter ourselves because knitting can be a solitary hobby, but it doesn't have to be. It can be a very social hobby, as we know, because we met
Yeah.
through social, like we talked about. But it can be a very solitary hobby that you do on your own, and also for Chile being a very long and thin country, sometimes, which happens to me with most of my knitting friends, they don't live in Santiago, so we don't get to see each other all the time. And it also comes knitters from other countries, so from a lot of Argentinian knitters, a lot of Peruvian, and lots of different countries. So Expo de Here really is about the community. Would you say that that reflects your experience of the event?
Yes, because of course, lots of people, you know, a lot of people, so they all wanted to say hi to you, but they were also super excited to meet me and so kind. And lots of people came up and like wanted to hug me or say hi, which I can say hi in Spanish, and that's about it. Um, so yeah, that was really nice. Everyone was so kind. I had a lot of fun with that. Yes.
People were also, well, very impressed with what you were knitting because when I was in the SOS Tejeril booth, you were knitting your foxpaw, which I told Elze to bring. I was like,
Yes.
bring it so you can show it off.
I brought it to brag.
So I can show you off. And so people really responded to you. People really wanted to say hi to you. People were really happy to meet you.
Yes, lots of people came up when we were in the booth, like asking me what I was knitting or saying that it was so pretty. Which of course I did not understand a lot of it. But lots of smiling and understanding the gist of it, or sending a panic look like, "Hey, can you translate? I have no idea what this person is trying to say to me."
I did help translate, and you did help me with the workshop for taking pictures. We should have
Yes.
taken more pictures of the workshop now that I think about it. I was so distracted and nervous, but I did talk about it before in this video.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I was very happy to see you teach.
Thank you, my darling. So how crazy. I was very well behaved in Expoteca. I only bought one skein of yarn that I will leave a picture somewhere. It's going to be here. From Tejeritas. But how crazy were you? Because if I have gone to a yarn festival in another country, I would have gone crazy, but you didn't.
No, I didn't. I think that's mostly because I know that I don't have a lot of knitting time.
Yeah.
So I only wanted to buy things where I knew it would get used, like relatively quickly.
We
bought we bought 4 skeins of this.
this
And show it
is-
closer.
Yeah, this is a yarn from Pilar, and it's DK weight. It's 100% merino superwash, 190 meters per 100 grams. So a full DK tending towards 10.
Yeah.
And a beautiful.
Really nice green. Yeah, we had to look around a bit to find something nice because I wanted something that was DK weight and a lot of the yarn was a bit thinner. because this is going to be a stack head pullover, but as a vest that Gonzo is gonna knit for me.
Yeah, you have made the stack head pullover before. This is a
Yes.
pattern by Nora Gogan. I will leave the link in the description.
I really recommend it. It is a super fun pattern to knit because it has this like crazy cable that is the shape of a stack head.
It's a little different from the constructions we do in Chile because in Chile we tend to do a lot of top down in one piece. So
yeah,
no
this
seaming.
is seamed,
This is bottom up and seamed. And
which
it's
is not that weird to me, but apparently it's
it's
not
very
as common.
unusual here. I would say people do knit more top down seamless.
Yeah, I mean that's also very common in the Netherlands, but I kind of like seamed because it has a nice satin sleeve and it adds some structure. I love the chart. I should have paid more attention before I started knitting it to the actual shape of the pullover because it's nice, but it's not really my style. Because it's very A-line, flowy, and I prefer like a little bit straighter sweaters, more faded. I also knitted pre-transition, so it ended up causing like some dysphoria. I still have it. I still wear it sometimes, but not that much. I also tend to run really hot now, so I asked Gonzo to make me a vest version, so I can also wear it at work because I have a lot of beautiful sweaters that I cannot wear to work because I overheat. Because my students I teach in high school categorically refuse to wear a wool sweater to work to school. So then they ask to turn up the heat, and I can also not wear sweaters.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make it sleeveless and with a V-neck. The
Yes.
pattern in your size calls for 1,000 meters. We bought a little under 800 meters, which I think should be enough
I think that's gonna be fine.
because it doesn't have sleeves, and I'm confident that the pattern will have a buffer. And if it ends up too short, we'll just block it aggressively to fit. And because it has cables, I feel like cables tend to drape and they tend to grow like this sweater did.
Yeah.
Grows without springing back.
Yeah, because I blocked this sweater quite a bit and it helped beautifully.
Yeah, you did block it aggressively. I don't. I block my sweaters and I just lay them flat because I hate blocking sweaters. And I very rarely pin them to make them grow. But mine, because I got to try this one on while I was making it, so it's different because I could choose the length. You couldn't do it. I had to go on your very wrong measurements.
But it fits fits very well now.
So this we bought for us, I would say, because it's for you to wear, but it's for me to knit. Yeah. So it's kind of like I bought yarn without paying for it, which I'm very happy with.
Yeah, good job.
Because I love knitting for people, and I love it when people ask me to knit for them and then buy me the yarn. And because that means I don't have to spend it, and I get to have all the fun for them.
Yeah. So I bought that. I only brought one skein to show here, but I have 4. We had to look around. There was one other yarn that we really liked. There was DK and like this beautiful brown with a few different tones of brown, but they only had 3. And I'm really happy with the green we ended up finding.
Yeah, also you wanted to find more colors than just brown.
I usually, when I'm looking for garment colors, I just gravitate towards the brown, and I'm trying to not let myself always pick the brown option. But I also really like greens. I like dark reds. So, yeah.
What else
I bought a gift. This is a set of
This is a
minis.
gift. How amazing is this person? I want more friends like this.
To be fair, the person that this is a gift for did paint like over half my apartment. Because I was moving, but also very busy, so I didn't have time to prepare for my own move. And one of my friends jumped in and really helped me out, so she's getting a very nice gift.
This is a set of minis by Mi Enredo, dyed specially by Liz.
Yes, and I think it has 2 mohair and 3 fingering. Some with shimmer, some like pure merino.
It has 5 minis. It has 2 mohairs, 1 mohair silk, 1 mohair silk glitter, 1 fingering 100% merino, 1 that is soft, 90% merino, 10% nylon, and 1 that is merino with stellina. So 2 sparklies and 3 non-sparklies.
And my idea with this was that like it's something special. I know she probably wouldn't buy something like this for herself. but she can make something very nice with it. The pattern that is kind of written for this is that you would also buy a base yarn for a sweater, and then this is the like color work yoke detail.
Yeah, it's Arena Layton Pattern. We're leaving the name and the link here below, so you can go and buy it, and then also buy a kit from Liz in Mienredo, because it's a very beautiful pattern that plays with different yarns, so that adds a lot of texture and dimension to the with just this same simple color work stranded technique, which is great. I love when you have a technique that you already know, but by playing with either the stitches or the type of fibers and mixing fibers, you end up with very impressive, amazing result, but not with a lot more work. So
Yeah.
it's something that looks impressive, but it's not hard to knit.
And I think like if she doesn't want to buy more yarn or doesn't like a sweater like that, you can also knit like a very nice shawl with this, I think.
Yeah.
So it feels like a fun versatile gift. There were so many pretty colors of this set. I had a really tough time deciding. I feel like it's also more pressure with a gift because you really want like a color that fits that person instead of just which one like I the most.
Yeah.
But I'm settling on this one. And I also got some more small things. I bought some buttons.
Yes, you bought buttons from a friend in Casa de Opio.
Yes,
I love
we
her.
can insert a picture. They are like really beautiful buttons with flowers from her gardens encased in the resin. So I I'm gonna sew a short sleeve button on, and I will use those pretty buttons. I got some small notions. I got some candy.
Some candy. You bought calugas from Dulce Canario, which I was like, go to that booth and buy
Very
calugas.
tasty. Very tasty.
Also, so I can, because as some people know, I'm diabetic, so I cannot have a lot of calugas by myself, but I can have a little bite of a caluga. So you buy sweets. That's usually how we do it. You buy sweets, and I take a little 1 or 2 bites from your sweet,
Yes.
and that's good enough for me. And I can have sweets without having to actually buy them.
Yes, just a little taste.
It's amazing.
So yeah, I bought that. I think that's about it. Like I was being good. I
You
would
were.
say.
You were. I wanted Elsa to be bad. I wanted Elsa to buy so much yarn so I could knit with it. Just like buy a lot of yarn so I can peruse through your stash and consume it. I think I'm still gonna do that. I genuinely think I'm still gonna be able to do that.
Peruse my stash and consume it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my stash now. It's our stash. It's
Our
like
stash.
that meme.
Yes.
Your stash, our stash. Yes. Because
And I'm fine with that because very little of my stash has projects bookmarked.
Yeah.
Some of it does, but most of it doesn't.
And that's a good compromise. I can knit things for you.
Yeah.
Because I have knitted a lot of things for you, and that's the last section of our Meet Elsa interview,
Yes.
which is all the things that I've knit for you because I am so amazing.
Yes, you are a
I am
wonderful
wonderful.
girlfriend
Yes, you should
who
be
makes
so
me
grateful.
really nice things. Like we are wearing the matching Moby sweaters,
Yes.
which Konzu both knit. We bought a yarn for it in the Netherlands, like we talked about.
Yeah. What else have I knit
You
for
have knit me the double knit scarf. That was my birthday gift.
That was my first double knit project too.
Yes,
So,
it's amazing. You have knit me the fox sweater, and were promptly slightly horrified because I would send like selfies or we would call, and it was just the entire winter at home.
I was like,
I was wearing that.
It was like, you're only wearing the sweater. Now I have to make you another one. So you are not
Yes.
just wearing one sweater.
So now I have 2 sweaters to wear, and I will probably in the winter when we call be wearing this one or the other one.
You're gonna have at least 2 vests by the
And
end
I
of
will
the
have
year.
2 vests, which are mostly something I will wear like to work during the day, and then I come home and I change into a comfy sweater because I don't heat my home as much as my work is heated.
What else have I knit for you?
You
There's
have
more.
knit me a hat, which I also wear a lot. And you have not knit but crocheted me these 2 little whales in like pride flag colors.
Yeah. And at the expo, we got a sorpresa from Lanela Pops,
Yes, which is also a whale.
which is
Which
also
is
a whale.
perfect.
And we loved it because now it matches your other whales.
Yes.
And now I am knitting. I have talked about it at the beginning of the video about the vest I'm knitting for you.
Yeah.
And the other vest I'm gonna knit for you.
Very
And
excited.
I'm making you socks that I finished one sock, and then I stupidly realized that stranded color work is not as stretchy as stockinette, which I knew. And so the gauge when you knit all over colorwork sweater, colorwork socks has to be slightly bigger than you would for your normal socks because you don't need as much negative ease. You still need negative ease, but only a little bit, almost neutral ease. I
Yeah.
feel. And
I've
I
definitely
didn't,
made that mistake before.
and so nobody can put those socks on. They're impossible to put. They're very beautiful. So I will knit them again. I'm not using a pattern. I just self drafted them, and I will just knit them again. Thankfully, I have more yarn from Nube de Colores. It's a green. It's a deep green, and then a light minty green from Dye Tales that I bought. The first one I bought for me, but then I repurposed it for a sock for you. And the Dye Tales, I bought it specifically to use it with that green yarn
Yes.
for that specific sock. I have enough because thankfully socks use a very little yarn.
And I have tiny feet too.
Yes, so I have enough to, which I appreciate. Like you use a smaller size than me, so I think that makes me very eager to knit for you because it's faster knitted for Elze than for me. So it's great, and so I'm also making that for you, and many more projects in the future. I think we're always gonna be finding ideas. We wanted to make maybe another all over color work vest.
Because you are amazing and you knit things that I don't have the patience for myself.
Yeah, we are going to need cable, a lower cable vest. We do need to think about what other things to knit, but I do have a lot of fun knitting for other people.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yes.
You can make me clothes in exchange. You can sew clothes for me, and then it's just a very normal exchange. So that's it. Anything else you want to talk about that I haven't asked you?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
No, I think we covered everything in the second time around recording these videos.
Let's hope this one is good.
Yeah,
If you see this, it was adequate.
And I hope you liked it, and I hope you liked the interview with Elze, and you like knowing more about them. And we'll be sharing also throughout these videos of our trip, videos of the things that we're doing here in Chile. There's amazing places where I've been seeing.
Yes.
And when you're here again in December, we can do more videos. And then when I move, we'll also do more videos with my life in the Netherlands and sharing.
Yes.
Thanks. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
Sadly,
thank you
this
for
is
having me.
this is Tejiendo con gatos without
gatos.
gatos. Yeah. So I hope that this person makes up for it without our cats jumping all over us because I do miss my cats.
Yeah.
It's been only a day and I miss my cats.
I know.
Thankfully, my cats are moving with me to the Netherlands. If anybody had questions, because some people had questions about it, obviously my cats are moving with me. So there will be Tejiendo con gatos, no matter where I am, except now because my cats are physically with me, but that's temporary.
Yes.
It's okay. So thank you so much for joining us. Like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. If you want to stay up to date with more knitting workshops that I might be teaching, with what else I'm knitting, because I do post more on Instagram. And also if you want to see photos and videos from this trip, because I have been sharing them on Instagram, and I think I'm going to keep them in my Instagram stories, including the video of us ziplining.
Yes.
That I will try to see if it fits into this video. Because it's a different format, but maybe it does fit into this video, so you can see us ziplining, which was scary but amazing. I love it. I want to do it again.
Yes.
I want to do it all the days of my life. So yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.